Cliff Jumper 1984, Red Rocks. The Alcoholic Autobot. I'm going to do a video response to my own video that's a response to another video. Does that make sense? I guess it kind of could. There was a video that was posted by a gamer, that's a YouTube guy, Alpha Omega Sid, talking about don't use video game sales to win an argument and how pointless that is. I did a video response onto it and said how I felt it kind of coincides with, is that the right word for it? How it, kind of works in the music industry when you're talking about, oh, what band's better, and this band's like, it doesn't matter because this band's got more album sales. Like, that doesn't really matter. And there's a lot of subjects I want to touch on that because music is a very opinionated based subject, I guess, because how many different people out there like different styles of music? How many genres of music is there? How many subgenres of that genre of music are there? It's a lot out there. And especially for people who, just listen to the radio. And not that, I can't say that it's wrong that, hey, you only like the bands you like because you found them on the radio. Because maybe that's their only way, that only they listen to music. And that's understandable too. Because maybe they're only going to like what they hear on the radio. Like, they play Metallica all the time. You never hear of Megadeth songs you'll hear one or two. But you don't hear, stuff like that. And, there's so many metal bands, rock bands, indie bands, and noise bands that, even underground R&B and hip-hop artists that get, that aren't commercial enough, that don't get on the big record labels or have the right promoters to get on the radio. And then some people will use the argument that, well, they're not good enough to get on the radio. And I'm not in the radio business, but isn't that more of radio's more government controlled, right? And they try and think what people want to hear and put it on. It's a very touchy subject that way. I don't care too much for terrestrial radio. I guess that's what they're calling it anymore. We have, good variety of stations around here somewhat, but a lot of them I don't care too much for. 92.7, that's like now a classic rock station. 96.1, that's an oldies, kind of retro rock station. Not so much retro rock, it's just like hits of the 60s and 70s and some 80s. And then there's 97.3 The River. It's just kind of like, rock and adult alternative, I guess. 98.5, that's more generic rock. And they even do a bunch of current stuff as well as older stuff. And then 105.7, that's more modern rock. And I don't know, like 98.5 is probably my favorite one that's terrestrial out of those. And it sucks right now because it's June 7th and college is out. I love the two college radio stations we have around here. One of my bands was actually played on one of them back in 2007, I think, which that's pretty cool. Because the local radio stations don't support, local music all that much. On the 105.7 channel, they do Under the Radar, which you can submit music, but it's like on Sundays at 7 o'clock. Who the hell's going to be listening at that time? I have satellite radio, Sirius. Nice to check that out. Kind of into power metal and some hair metal. That's pretty much like what I listen to. I know you're probably like, oh, fucking God. But they got a hair metal channel on there, channel 39. That fucking kicks ass. But yeah, there's, I get mad when people try and do that. I commented on the other video where one of my ex-guitarists was like, "Oh, Metallica's better than Megadeth because they have, Metallica has 230 some million albums sold, as to where Megadeth, I'm not sure of their total number. Maybe, I don't know. I don't even want to guess because I don't want to be off. I like Megadeth a lot too. And then, my argument, well, why does the album sales make them a better band? They kind of popularized metal, and then like as Megadeth, you know, they don't. Dave Mustaine, it depends who plays the other guitar at the time. I think it was what 4 or 5 guitarists they've had, maybe even 6 now. They switch on from lead and rhythm rolls, and they're more of a technical band than I find than Megadeth or Metallica. Yeah, Megadeth's more technical than I feel is Metallica. So that's why I feel that they're a better band. But then other people are gonna have more arguments. You know, didn't Dave Mustaine write some of the stuff off of To Kill 'Em All? And there's 1 or 2 songs off of Ride the Lightning he wrote. I'm not trying to make us a Megadeth versus Metallica issue because, again, that's my opinion, and I'm not right, and no, or I'm right and I'm wrong. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Because there's a lot of bands that I like that no one likes or no one's even really heard of. I mentioned how I'm a big Loudness fan. Vinnie Vincent Invasion. And how about this? Someone who's been quoted as being a guitar god or whatever. It's been on the top 10 or top 20 list of many magazines. Yngwie Malmsteen. His bands Alcatraz and Rising Force are fucking amazing. But it's not like he had like a lot of sales. I think the '89 album. I even fucking have that, and I don't know the title to it. Would that sell like 5 million or something like that? And then that's an amazing album. He's an amazing guitarist, but he doesn't have amazing sales. So where does that lead them as a band? There's so many other things to point out. Even other ones like Mark St. John. He was an amazing guitarist before he passed away. And he played with Kiss on one album, the 1984 Animalize. That didn't sell that well. It was one of the bigger bombs that Kiss did. But then he played with White Tiger, who was the third singer from Black Sabbath, and that album didn't sell good. That's so many other, and like, I don't know. Is there something else I'm missing in this argument? It could be all the things in the world. Like they're all a real technical band and they're really good together. But if their album sales didn't go that high, are they not a good band? Is that what basically it's getting to? Because I'm sure I've got a bunch of like AOR, album-oriented rock, stuff like that, and like melodic late '80s rock bands that I think are like the albums are pretty much straight through solid. Like I'm not gonna have like hear a hit first song and then play 3 or 4 and then get like another song that's really good. Like I'm going constant through. 2 good ones that I would say that no one knows. If you ever heard a band out of Los Angeles called Lion, they did 2 albums, Power Love and Trouble in Angel City. They were actually founded, I think, by somebody who was trying to find a good band to do the 1986 Transformers movie. They did the Transformers theme song for that. Oh my god! If you don't like them, check that out. But the second album, Trouble in Angel City, was it was a great album, start to finish. There might be 1 or 2 songs in there like which is I think track 2 and track 7, but they're still decent. And then another band from '88 or '89 called Razormaid, album First Cut. That album's pretty good from fucking start to finish as well. Metacopus, in Through the Head or whatever. That's another good band where an album's pretty fucking straightforward. But these are all bands and albums that didn't have exposure and they didn't sell. but it's amazingly talented artist, and it's a complete album. And I'm sure there's, other bands that I don't know yet that are out there that are probably just as fucking good. I listen to a lot of Jap rock and Jap metal. That's, of course, I found Loudness, but there's other ones out there that I like Earthshaker, X Japan, Ezo. But see, they had a little bit of success here too, that band. There's not one or two I'm forgetting. So, what are your thoughts about it? You a musician or something? I also like comments from musicians. There's not like people are just like, well, you can't rate music being good or bad if you don't study music theory. I can even get that argument too. I'm in a band. It doesn't entitle me to my opinion being right. I can admit that. But like I said, everyone's got their own opinions of what they like. You feel I'm wrong or you want to input something? Don't be afraid to. We can comment all down below there. I love video responses. I try and chat with everybody. If you like what you're watching, there's a subscribe button about right there. So go ahead and hit that if you want. And what we're going to do is we're going to sit back and drink some natural ice and hang out with Generation 1 Red Alert. I got to do some Transformers. So, hey, drink one with me and I'll drink it for you. Take it easy, everyone.